Hey guys, it's Lori. Um, Here at oh, voice in the dark. I got so excited about this um energy. I don't know what else to call it, but we are live at the grandest, uh, almost peak, where we decide to work together. Um, I think what this last election taught us was that we all have pain. We all have some type of concern at home. Some of us it's business. Some of us it's our family. They can't even make enough money to live by themselves. And then there's the rest of us that are worried about equal rights and health and stuff like that, and the arts and education and everything else. And I guess what I'm seeing is the greatest revolution in human history, and it's our personal evolution as humans coming together as a community, a big community, and a worldwide community of realizing that we need to cover everything. We need to look at the greater whole, the greater good of all. And I think that we're all starting to understand that. And that capitalism doesn't really work. It's nice, but it used to be when you made an investment with a company, it was to help them out, and it was a long-term goal for you to work towards, some retirement money. Not these bull markets. These bull markets are all actually they're against the law. Number one, and number two, they're being forced, so they're not real. And hopefully they'll all get investigated and charged and whatnot. But what I'm seeing for the everyday 8 billion people out here is that we're realizing that we are important. We are standing up, each one of us, for whatever our story is, to be validated. And I was just as guilty as anyone else during this race um, at getting mad at the other side. We all did it. But what I realized when the race was so close that, and so many people voted, was that we were all ready to be validated. Our voice counts. Keep using your voices. This is an immense, wonderful time, and you'll start seeing what your voice has value, and that the only person that can validate you is you. And we need to, because we all sit with our little groups of friends or people that we have coffee with and whatever, or people we run into in town or the bar. The thing is we can sit there and have our conversations and change the world and save the world. But what we really need to do is take those notes and then somebody go home and write an email to our Senate and our congressmen, both sides, Democrat and Republican, what your concerns are. That's what we need to do. We need to stay involved. But the biggest part of this revolution, it's not a revolution against anyone. It is a revolution of evolution. We are evolving into a new species almost, a new humanness. And it's beautiful. Because until you learn to speak up, face your fears, face your shadow, they call it, shadow work, which is just your fears, insecurities, all those little negative things. And we all have them, so don't tell me you don't. Work with them, sit with them. It's worth it. Because then you get to your heart and you can open it wide. And what you can say to everyone is, I see what you're saying. Let's see how we would work that out with the bigger plan. It's not about us fighting, and it's not about one side versus the other. It was never meant to be that. And it's the same with all of us. It's the same with you and your neighbors, me and my neighbors. It's the same with our communities versus other communities. It's about respecting each other and seeing what each other's needs are, and trying to help where we can, and put a cap on some things and some good regulations, and so that we can evolve into these communities that are better suited for each one of us, and that we will continue supporting our government as long as it is for the greater good of all, again, for the people. We need to, we really need to focus on ourselves and get through our fears and our angers, and, you know, get it all out. Get a good therapist. There's plenty of them online, and if not, find a hypnotherapist. I prefer those, because you actually walk through the stuff and you actually experience it and let it go, all right there. You don't have to stay in therapy forever. But anyway, get a hair follicle test if you're one of those that's super angry all the time because you're missing a trace mineral. Sorry, my other glasses are, they're both kind of shot. Let's see. I went through those. So in peaceful assembly, we each will push for the greater good of all, and understand that what makes us great is actually the ability to see where needs are not being met and falling through the cracks. And that is where we start making ourselves strong again and healthy. We just kind of let everything run amok. And we trusted people, and we weren't involved anymore. And I think the thing now is to do the inner work on ourselves and get to our heart center so that we can look at each other without yelling, without screaming, maybe just laughing and going, you know, we really need to do this and that. And know that most of the stuff out there that was created to disturb you and trigger you so much, and this is on both sides of the track, it was all done on purpose, like a theater show. So ignore them, that kind of crap. Just ignore it and start embracing who you really are. And but you got to do the shadow work, get through that. It takes a year or two. But in the meantime, you can heal yourself enough to stay on top of things that are important to you. Get a group of people together, little groups all over the country, and when you're discussing things that you wish would be done, or you know, you wonder how this could be done or that, and then put it together in a nice little package in an email and send it to all our senators and congressmen on both sides, because their job is to serve us, all of us. And it was never about, we were never supposed to be this big, monstrous war machine, ever. But it does make sense why we did it. But we've relied on it so much for our incomes that it's just time for change. We don't need to be the big war machine. We know that we can change overnight to be a war machine if we're being threatened. And there's just lots of little tweaking we can do here and there. And that's what needs to be done. And we need to really crack down on our Senate and Congress about all these new things wanting to get done. And they give them a stack of 300 to 400 pages worth of crap that they're supposed to go through to okay a bill that's being produced. But it's been all kinds of other crap's been slid in there. And that's what takes so long for us to get anything done. And I would suggest to the Senate and the Congress that they pass a law real quick that says they can't do that anymore. That each bill has to be an individual subject. You can't coordinate or correlate a whole bunch of other crap in there too. And then everything goes quicker. And what needs to be will be, and what doesn't, doesn't. Anyway, those are my thoughts today. But that's what I wanted to let you know, what I'm seeing. The energy feels good. It feels really good. And it feels like people are getting involved again. And I know that a lot of the New Age people and all that, they say, oh, no, you're just supposed to be happy and do your own thing and ignore them. And no, I disagree. I believe we have to do something. I believe that we have to be involved to a certain extent because it involves our lives and our livelihoods and our children's futures and our grandchildren's great-grandchildren. So that's how I feel. And I'm sure there's others out there that feel the same way. And we have to stop calling each other names. It's very hard when they put those memes out that trigger us. I get triggered, I do the same thing, and then I call them a dumbass and blah, 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 blah. But we really have to stop doing that because what we're doing is just demeaning ourselves. And we need to realize that everyone is educated differently, even people that went to the same schools. Because a lot of our education is done at home. And a lot of us lived in homes that were less than peaceful on a good portion of the days. So we need to realize that not everybody was from the same economic walk as everyone else. And I preferred it when the streets were filled with everyone. It had every economic household on one street. And as kids, we played together. And it never bothered us. We actually liked it. We knew that his dad was a janitor. We knew his dad was the banker or the steel mill or whatever. We didn't mind where we landed, and nobody forgot each other because of the differences. It didn't become divisions until you started subdivisions. Think about that. And now they're all subdivided by economic level, which is sad. Because I found a lot of intelligent people in the poverty areas. Extremely intelligent, good common sense. And I found a lot of idiots that have a lot of money. So somebody said, oh, she doesn't like rich people. I said, oh, I love rich people because I love money. I think it's awesome to have money. I judge people by their character, not their pocketbooks. And it just seems that there's an awful lot of wealthy people and rich people that think they're better than the others, and they're not. But there's also the other way around, which my aunt taught me. She said, but Lori, there's the opposite too. And she said, poor people are being discriminating against rich people because rich people have things and then you don't have. I said, I didn't feel comfortable going to this one because I could tell by the cars parked in the parking lot that these people all make a lot of money and I don't. I'm going to feel dumb pulling in there with my little old beat up car. And I didn't know how to deal with it at the time. She said, that's reverse discrimination. It's reverse prejudice. And I went, oh, okay. I see that now. And so what I'm saying is it goes both ways. And our biggest flaw in this country is capitalism, dropping the regulations and letting everything go amok after that. And I don't know about you, but I didn't mind having wealthy people that were, up there and running the world and everything until they got so greedy that it become ridiculous. And us being a global fair and share, thing, well, we cannot keep stabilizing capitalism and letting it rise, especially if these false bull markets that they've driven up. We'll never be able to catch up to that or keep it up because there aren't enough people to buy all the products. And I don't know about you, but I'd like to get back to where we have some fair trade going on here, so because it creates better products and quality. Yeah. But anyway, I could go on that soapbox forever, and we all can, and I know we all do. But what I wanted to tell you was that I was seeing is the evolution of the human species. And I believe that I have faith in the human species to be able to look at each other and for once realize that this is important to them. This is important to them. Maybe we can find a way to get, somewhere equal at, somewhere in the middle. So let's respect each other and love each other because we are no different. We just have different ideals that are important to us. And if we're going to be radically different, maybe we need to take into consideration those who are not and keep it calm down. Most people don't care what we want to do or be. If you want to be gay, be gay. What they're asking you not to do on the other side is to throw it in their face. And what I'm going to tell you, the ones that don't want it thrown in their face, is what they want you to do is allow them the same rights as heterosexual people. And this all had to do with money and insurance and being able to take care of their partners properly. And because they have partners. It's not all just, some flame crazy crap. We have enough of that in our heterosexual division too. So you can't go there and put everyone in that same category, except for there is crazy. There's always going to be crazy, and that's that. And but we have to look at the majority of both sides, both people. I mean, we came to the polls, we did it, we voted, and we made a statement. And the statement is we're about 50-50 in this country right now. So that means we need to look at each other and agree to disagree on some things, but we need to understand that we have to respect each other's stories. We have to validate not just ourselves, but we need to validate other people. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that as our future. And I'm proud of everyone, and I'm happy, and I'm excited about the future. And I'm hoping that we will find ways to, I know Trump wants to end the education system, but the thing is that there's some tweaking we need to do. And, but I hope that we put meditation in schools and some kind of martial arts so that all children will grow up learning to protect themselves from anyone. And on top of that, there won't be so much fighting and bullying in that because they know you can kick your ass. Each other can kick their ass. There won't be any of that crap anymore. And no more top dog in it. We all work together as teams. because that's what really gets us through. The top dog couldn't be a top dog if he didn't have a team underneath him supporting him. So let's start leveling the playing field a little bit so that it takes in everyone for the greater good of all. Way to go, humans. Love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.